Hello and welcome. This is Japan. This video is a little late. This is my match review of Battle in the Valley. It was the New Japan Pro Wrestling event that happened a couple days ago. I'm a little bit behind as I just hit the wrong thing. I'm gonna pull up the match card here so I get the names right because that was always a problem for me. I don't know. I'm terrible with these names. I really am. I really wish I was better. Um, this card had some really big names on it, and I think it delivered over all together. Obviously, once we go down from each individual battle or each match, it kind of, you can break it down a lot easier. First up, we had a nice, giant 30-minute time limit draw, which is just insane that they go 30 minutes between Ishii and Gate Kid. Uh, Finally didn't say his name wrong. Man, they just had some big nasty strikes against each other, and it was just a really stiff match. It looked good. I'm always kind of like, I like those type of matches, but like they're not my favorite. So like on this card, absolutely, I wouldn't have wanted a whole card of this, but this definitely scratched that itch. I think it was pretty solid. I'm gonna put it in B. I do believe it's like a really good start to the thing. 30 minutes is also quite a long time, and it did definitely feel like 30 minutes. But I don't necessarily think that was necessarily a bad thing when you think about it. Next up, I think we had the tag match. This thing got a little out of order. Against it was the world class Wrecking Crew versus what is it? Rocky Romero and is it Yo? Because it's H-O, it's YOH, and I think they just said Yo. I had never heard of any of the men in this match. I overall thought it was a pretty fun match. I thought a lot of people had some good spots in it. It had some good back and forth. I felt like they were both heels, and because they both were kind of doing some dirty stuff. I think I enjoyed Yo the most, but I think overall I thought it was still pretty solid. I put it in B. Definitely preferred the first match over the second match, but I still think it was a solid match. Then we had the 8 women tag team elimination match. It was basically, three members of Stardom plus Viva Ven versus Anna Jay, AZM, Johnny Robbie, yeah, and Trisha Dora. They had some really good spots here. I almost like perfectly called the eliminations too when I was thinking about it, because like just based off of what they were doing, and that double elimination with Mina and AZM was really solid because it was like they were both the two probably biggest names on it, and they had to eliminate them somehow. And I think that was a perfect way to do it. I'll put it in A. It was one of just a fun match. I don't know. I just really enjoyed it. Next up, we had it was actually the Jeff Cobb match. It's El Phantasmo versus Jeff Cobb. This was one of those matches that like I honestly was like both these guys are really hot. I don't know who's gonna win on this one, but a double countout has ended up what it was being, and El Phantasmo retaining. I thought the match was really good. I think this is leading to a rematch, and I'm actually really excited about that. I don't normally know many of the wrestlers here, so I have been just trying to learn and all that, and I was like, yeah, I'm cool with another one of these. I'll put it in B. Next up, we had the retirement match for Sumi Suzuki. I had never heard of her before, but this is what you call a perfect retirement match because I feel like if you had known her and I just knew a little bit and saw a little bit on the vignette, it just seemed very like her match. It seemed wild. The backstory a little bit with her team with like that she hired two guys that she thought could reform and then they obviously didn't and attacked her and stuff. That part was a little weird and confusing. And at some points it was like a 4v2. Sometimes it was like everybody versus everybody. So that part was a little odd, but I also obviously like Mayu, so on the other team, and I love Yuka, so I was like, it was a good match with them. Mayu obviously did Mayu things. Obviously, Mayu in a match, she's always like in that S tier area, so everybody else did great in it too. I think it was just that perfect retirement match. I'm gonna put it in A. Obviously, I think the match didn't have a lot of like amazing spots. I mean, it was a retirement match, but the stuff afterwards and all of the sweet messages and just like the flowers, the whole ceremony afterwards was perfect. And this was a great retirement match. If I was a longtime vet and that was my final match, I'd be happy about it. Yeah, I mean, perfect to me. So I guess I would do that. Then we had the Neverweight Open Championship match, which was Kushida versus Takeshita. I've just been a great fan of Takeshita right now. Like he is probably one of my favorite wrestlers to watch right now. I think I've seen most, if not all, of his matches so far this year, every single one, and I'm just more impressed by all the stuff he does. This was great. I'm gonna put it at A. I definitely felt like they had some good match chemistry. I honestly, it's one of those matches I feel like a little bit longer would could have really ticked it up to an S tier. It was 15 minutes, but an extra 4 or 5 minutes, a little bit more back and forth, it would have been good compared to, or just make use of some of the spots where they, obviously we're trying to get air and stuff. Like they could have done a little extra on that. I think that would have also helped. Then we had a non-title match, which was Jack Sabre Jr. versus Helitico. Those two absolutely cooked each other, man. They had some crazy stuff. I feel like their in-ring chemistry was insane, and I honestly just I was along for the ride. Jack Sabre Jr. kind of feels that way. I haven't watched a ton of his matches. I've watched a few recently, and it just feels like you sit back and watch. You don't say much during it because you're just like at awe, but you're just glued to it. And Heletico, I had not heard of. I mean, I've heard of, but I had not seen many matches of, and I thought it was solid. I thought the match was good. Everything about it, I think, is just solid A tier. I could definitely put it in S tier. I don't know what I was really expecting with this. I feel like this card was one of those cards that were just so good that like it's hard to really put something in S because I don't feel like it was better than some of the other matches, but like it was still really good. So I think the solid A to B is just a really good thing. I don't know, nothing wrong with it. And then we had El Desperado versus is it Ishimori? Another just really good solid match. Two men I hadn't seen before. They went out there and just were hammered in. I really was enjoying this match, and I don't know. I'm really enjoying a lot of the New Japan Pro Wrestling that I've been watching, and still trying to learn all the people. So like, if you guys have any suggestions of old matches, because I'm just kind of trying to watch everything current and then catch up later, seems to be the thing. But man, this was a good card. Obviously, putting this in A tier. All of these A tier matches were just so close to being S tier matches. It's hard to do it. There was just like small little things that I just don't feel 100% putting them S tier, but man, they're really good A tier matches. The card itself was A tier. It went by fast, even though it was a pretty long card. I really wouldn't have got rid of much of anything in it. I think all the matches served a purpose, and they deserve to be on that card, which is always kind of hard sometimes when you have a bigger card with of 8 matches. Sometimes something should be taken off. Like you're like, oh, I'll take this one off, or I could have gave more time to this. I'm like, nah, I think what they did was great. And yeah, I'm really excited for the next event, which I don't know when it is. So if you guys know, tell me. And if you guys are enjoying this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And this has been Japan. Bye, guys.